been an amazing amount of scholarship over the last 30, 40 years, and women artists and artists of color in every culture are being rediscovered. Many of them were well known in their own time, like Artemisia Gentileschi, but later they were written out of the art history books. So although we didn't know every one of them when we started the Guerrilla Girls, they weren't that hard to find.
I had to tell you the truth.
You can support women by speaking up and being curious, and when you don't see women and artists of color in museums, ask why not.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
One way to stand up against any kind of discrimination and injustice is to speak up about it. And in terms of being like in an art museum where we are now, we suggest putting up some messages to the directors and curators in the bathrooms. They don't know you're doing it, and there's the message there for everyone to see.
We are all artists and have separate things that we do outside of the Guerrilla Girls, and for us it's important to keep those two realms separate, and it also adds to the conversation because who can forget, a bunch of people in gorilla masks.
Significant victories are always made up by many, many small victories. And as you can see, looking at all of these posters, we've done over 100 posters, even though maybe most people know only 5 or 6 of the posters that we've done. But this show tells the story of all of our little victories. What we found was, and this is true for any activist of any kind, and also for any artist, any writer, any creative person, you can't take on the whole problem at once. You have to narrow it down to little bits that you can do, then do one thing. If it works, do another. But most importantly, if it doesn't work, do another anyway. And that's been our philosophy, and that's why all this stuff is here. This is a message to artists who are educated to think of themselves as lonely individualists. And that actually separates artists and keeps them from thinking collectively. And the only way we can make changes in our culture is to think collectively.
People are afraid to be feminists because they think feminists are fighting only for women and not for anyone else. That is not the case. We believe in a feminism that fights for human rights for all people, all backgrounds, all genders.